Paramount Plus debuted Dexter New Blood, which is Dexter, the serial killer, coming back out of retirement 7 or 8 years after the season finale, which was absolutely panned when it came out. In that season finale of the original run of shows, he basically fakes his own death, takes his boat out and drives into a tropical cyclone in Miami, but somehow survived. The boat is absolutely destroyed, but he somehow survives and ended up in Portland, Oregon. And now he didn't stay there. He didn't stay there though, unfortunately. In this new mini series of Dexter New Blood, he's in a town called Iron Lake, which is a fake town in New York. And yeah, he's back living his life like totally normal. He's going by the name Jim Lindsay now, which is a little nod to the writer Jeff Lindsay of the Dexter books. And yeah, this is a 10-episode miniseries, basically bringing Dexter Morgan back to life, or back to the forefront.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's now on Paramount Plus, streaming week to week. So we only got 1 episode last night, which it was supposed to debut at 8 p.m. I logged on at 8 p.m. and it didn't show up. So I was like, oh, that's a great sign, Paramount Plus. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like hit play on the trailer and see what happens. Maybe it'll update and it'll play the correct thing. And it just came on after the trailer. So that's what I had to do. Just had to press play on the trailer and let it run through and then the show came on afterwards. I checked this morning and it still wasn't up. That's the only way to access it at the time. You have to watch the trailer to get the episode to play.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was a very weird. The Paramount Plus app has a lot of issues. Like there's no profiles at the moment. I think they've only just added a like my watch list type feature. So it's still got some improvements to be made, but yeah, Dexter New Blood was the main reason that I signed up for the service, and the first episode, yeah, left me pretty satisfied. It didn't blow my socks off with anything crazy, but they got Michael C. Hall back as Dexter, which they kind of had to do. It definitely wouldn't have worked if they got someone else to take over that role. We also get Jennifer Carpenter back reprising her role as Deborah Morgan, his sister, even though she died in the original series. But she's back, but she's not alive. They've come out and said that we're not retconning anything. So that final episode that was absolutely panned by everybody is canon. That's what happened. But now this new series is he's moved to New York. He's living there, quiet life. Deborah's back, but she's just kind of his imagination. She takes over the role of his father, Harry Morgan, as his like guidance character and subconscious type thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, they got the original showrunner, Clyde Phillips, who was responsible for the first 4 seasons of the original series, which in my opinion were the 4 best of the 8. So it's good to get him back. And this one's set 10 years after the original series. And Dexter's, yeah, like I said, living in Iron Lake, New York. He has Jim Lindsay, who is he's basically a staff member of a hunting store, which seems pretty fitting for a serial killer. Easy access to guns and knives and hunting equipment that he would need to continue. But according to the show, he hasn't committed a murder in the 10 years since he left Miami. So now we're sort of getting to come back and witness him fight those urges and, spoiler alert, succumb to the urges at the end of episode 1, which kind of was expected. It wouldn't have been the same series if we just went 10 episodes and nobody died. We're just following this dude around living a happy life.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it felt very much like the original Dexter that we all know and loved, and yeah, did a good job of sort of making up for that contentious final episode. I'm interested to see
Yeah.
where they go in the next 9 episodes, 8 o'clock on
Yeah.
Sundays. I think the weirdest part of
A bit
this
later.
episode, though, was they reintroduce Harrison, who is his son.
Okay.
And yeah, I felt like he was much older than he probably should have been, considering as it's only 10
Okay.
years later. And from what I
Yeah.
remember, Harrison in the final season was only like 4 or 5. And
Yeah.
this actor
Okay.
does not look 14 or 15. He looks late teens, early 20s. I was like, this
Yeah.
this doesn't quite feel right. I'm going to have to concentrate on this a little bit more and have this
Yeah.
make sense to me as the season goes on. Did you ever watch the original Dexter?
Yeah, I watched like I came and went with it. Like I know what the premise is about. And I always found the intro very weird because they're cooking like eggs or something in the intro, and there was like the blood and the tomato sauce, and that's something that's always stuck out of my head. So it's one or two shows that I really enjoyed when I watched it, but I kind of fell off. And then I started rewatching, and like with that, I was thinking about Suits, this other show I loved. And it was like these two shows that, like, when you said you were going to watch this, I was like, oh, it's a show I like watching. Then I kind of stopped watching it because it fell off. Then I'd come and go with it, but it wasn't something I sat down and did fully. So like, I didn't know that the ending or whatever. I think I fell off by the time it happened. And yeah, I enjoyed it, but yeah, it was something I never fully finished.
Yeah, they got rid of that intro, so obviously like they've just gone full refresh. It's a
Yeah.
totally new intro basically. And just like even the setting is totally different. Like we went from warm tropical Miami to now we're cold, icy, snow, winter of upstate New York. So yeah, it does feel like a complete refresh and reboot. So you get a
Yeah.
lot of similarities, but lots of stark contrast as well. So it does feel new, which is cool.
Yeah, cool. Brilliant.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see where it goes and whether we get more as the thing goes, or if we're just gonna settle on 10 episodes and try and hopefully get to an ending that everyone's happy with, rather than ending on something that everybody hated and felt like it tarnished a whole series.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. I know one of my favorite shows that I've never been able to watch since I saw the ending, How I Met Your Mother. That was absolutely horrible. And I don't know if they did a reboot, I don't think I'd be able to watch it, just because it just scarred me so much how bad that ending was. It was just horrible. So it's good that it seems to be, I guess, picking up where it left off, or like not where it left off, but picking up, and it seems like promising for the next 9 episodes. So yeah, nice.
Yeah, like it goes to show how important an ending to a show is. Like even what was it? Sons of Anarchy had a bad ending as well. That was kind of like, oh, what the
Yeah.
heck? And like
Yeah.
just that one last episode can tarnish a whole run of a show that runs over multiple seasons. Game of Thrones is another one where that last season was absolute trash and it's ruined kind of the whole series for a lot of people. So yeah, really important to nail the ending of a beloved show.
Yeah, I know Seinfeld got kind of rubbish for its ending, but I kind of really liked the ending of Seinfeld just because it brought all the old characters back in. It was a good look at it all. But yeah, that's another show that got tarnished. Whereas The Rival Friends, I thought that was quite a nice ending to that show. But yeah, you need to tell the whole story, and if you end poorly, it's just, yeah, leaves a sour taste in your mouth. And I literally, like, when I used to watch normal TV, if How I Met Your Mother was on, I just turned it off just because I was so disappointed by it. So man.
Yeah, The Sopranos is another one with a very contentious ending, just fading to black. So yeah, really, really hard to nail that ending when you've built up a fan base that are dedicated to this show over 8 or 9 seasons.
Yeah, definitely.